All right, guys, what's going on? It's Josh Answers here, and we have a real estate video today. And I think it's a very big question. A lot of people have and really don't understand the reason behind it. We could blame a lot of things for it, but why are real estate prices so high? And now I want to share this with you guys so you could get an idea of what's going on with the real estate market, and so you could also have an idea of how this relates to flipping, wholesaling, and getting involved with real estate in general and letting you know kind of insights to the money behind it as well as the opportunity and difficulty. So, real estate prices are higher than they've ever been. They're higher than when we had the 2007 highs, 2006, all that. And people are thinking it's for so many reasons. And at the end of the day, we have a unique issue being created. And, this is what I'm going to show you guys as we go up. But, this is Los Angeles. And you'll see this applies in some areas as well, too, but mainly like California, New York, more expensive places, but it still applies everywhere, but just at different price points. Here's 500,000. We have it set for single family home. Now, we could do condos and you guys will see a lot more houses become available, but really not many. There's only 10 here, 16 here, 10, 10, 10. That's not that many homes for a place with 19 million people. So let's just switch it back to home. So if you set a max price of 500,000, essentially you cannot find a single family home, a home that with the land that you own with a backyard, or even some might not even have them. This is your line, the closest houses you're getting up here. This is as far as you'll get, and this is downtown LA. And you know, it really is just a completely different landscape of what you got going on here. You can't live in Hollywood. You can't even live like Eagle Rock used to, it's like here used to be cheap by the Dodger Stadium and stuff like even like around here. I mean, Silver Lake. But it's just crazy what has been done with prices. You can't even get a house up until you start getting, half a million. You could count how many houses exist on your fingers, even as you get into northern Los Angeles. So it's either, these parts aren't really the best parts. There's a lot of gangs and really the school districts and this. If you wanted to live someone who could afford a $500,000 house, you're not really going to want to live here. And that's when you put it into context now of what's going on, why. And the issue is inventory. And what we mean by inventory is, like you see, we could count how many exist. The problem going on with real estate now that's driving up prices so high is that there's not a lot of homes for sale. So now you got to ask why. And now this goes back and it's related to Dodd-Frank. And now why this could be important, because then there might be an opportunity here in the coming futures where the inventory is going to be able to increase more. People are going to be able to make moves, and it's really going to boost up the real estate market. Now, that may sound counterintuitive, but let me explain. Excuse me. And what's going on essentially is that since Dodd-Frank, after the real estate crisis, what happened? They were giving loans to people left and right. Your dog could get a loan. They didn't verify income, anything like that. It really, that's what drove the prices up. Demand went through the roof. And, it was a good time for people temporarily. But then when it crashed, the government made the rules, Dodd-Frank, to protect against, these systematic banking failures again, and make it so that banks had to require and disclose certain things like debt to income, equal opportunity lending. Oh my God, keep yawning. You know, and they had to disclose all of this stuff, and they changed pretty much how hard it became to get a loan. They made it really difficult, a lot of bureaucracy and red tape now to get a loan. So now what happened since Dodd-Frank about 2010 or 2009, what happened is that it became a lot much more difficult to get a home. So now real estate rebounded and it's been going up and up, but now what's making it go up so high? It's the fact that people can't move. Why can't people move? Because if they, let's say you bought a house, and think about it, a lot of people in 2010, I have a friend who bought a house right here for 400,000 in 2010. It's worth like 1.1 million dollars now, and it's only 1,000 square feet. It's tiny, and that's what I'm going to show you guys when we start moving up the ranks, and you'll see this inventory at a crucial level and see why it's driving up prices. And that's just relative to how much you're spending to what you get. So if you spend half a million, you're getting nothing here. So it's difficult because if people wanted to move, they couldn't sell their home and take the cash now and buy another house without downgrading, moving to a worse area or a different area than when they live, or a smaller home or even a condo. So, and that's because they couldn't qualify, because now with the requirements to get a house, if you don't know how to set it up, you don't know about the loan again, more loan programs are coming out to make it easier and easier, but since like 2010 to 2013, 14, it was almost impossible to get a house for most people unless you made substantial amounts of money, reported a lot of income through the IRS, and you had a sizable down payment and zero or little debt. And that's because of the 60-40 debt to income requirement. Now, that's what's been driving it up, is that now you have a lot of people really reluctant to sell their properties. And well, this is what's been created. People don't want to sell their house. Oh, God, yawn. So they want to sell their house if they could, but now that they can't and they have no other alternatives, what's going to happen? They're going to go now and sell it, and it's just, they're going to stay in there until the price goes up or until they could get a loan. But most of them are really going to stay in there forever because they got it at such a low price, or even if they're paying expensive, it beats renting a property in a worse area. So that's what you get now with these prices. So now, how is this going to get alleviated? By loan standards dropping. And that's what I was saying. Dodd-Frank got passed by the House. Trump signed off on it. I think they're going to be rolling it out here in the next 12 months or 14, the Dodd-Frank repeal. So they're going to start making it come back to this personal lending, which people are worried it could create a risk for the market. But at the same time, I think banks have learned, well, that's a comical phrase to say to some people, but at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that people now, banks are going to be able to use more, of their general knowledge and info on a client to make a loan, rather than these government requirements, which could help boost activity. It's going to help people refinance who have houses with a ton of equity, or help people who are selling their house, cashing out, and then use that money to get a loan. So it's going to be very interesting, and that's one thing I'm looking for. So that's, a positive, but also some people are worried that the supply in the market and inventory might increase. And I'm going to make a video on that, kind of talking about, will real estate crash, and some of the data points that have came out regarding that. But essentially, this is what people are looking for. Some supplies coming up, but now it probably will get met with demand, and that's kind of the plan I'm looking for here in the next few years and in the next 12 months to see unroll. And I'm excited for what that's going to be able to do for the real estate market. So now, looking again, what I'm saying, as we go up through the ranks here, we could go 600,000. We get a little bit more houses here, but nothing. 700,000. Oh, we got some in Encino. So maybe we're getting a little bit some closer here to Koreatown, Mid-City. Oh, there you go. You got some in Hollywood. So take a look, and this is what 700,000 is going to get you. It'll get you 2 bedrooms, 1 bath in Hollywood, not West Hollywood, 900 square feet. 660 will get you 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 985 square feet. That one doesn't look too bad either. And everything else, that's it. If you really want a normal house, let's try up to 800,000. Again, and most people, to spend that much money to live there, again, 800 grand to live in 1,200 square feet. I saw this one before, actually. I was going to buy it, but it's a teardown. Another one, 799, 2 bedrooms, 1.75 bath. It's in Hollywood Hills, but it's 870 square feet, and you see the condition. This one is a condo, 739 for 1 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,000 square feet. So you see, there's not that much inventory. So if you only have, if you want to live in this area on a budget for 800,000 to buy a house, even if you're okay with buying something this small, think about how many houses are available. There's a lot of competition, and that's why you're getting bidding wars and all that. Really, if you want to get a house, you're going to need at least $1 million. And even then, when you go up to $1 million, again, you have a few of these little shit boxes in the hills that are pretty tiny. That one's not bad, actually. But again, it's 1,200 square feet. That's really, really small. 760 square feet for $1 million. $1 million for 2,000 square feet. This one's not bad. I think I saw this house. This one even looks fucked up, though. But, and that one's going to need work. It's a little bit bigger, but that one's not too bad. And again, you just see the inherent difficulty of buying something at a decent price in one of these areas. And now the same thing applies for a lot of other areas, it's just at different price points. But essentially, to get a single family home in California in a good area where there's good work and good, weather and living standards, you're going to be spending 700 grand just to get 1,000 square feet minimum, really upwards of $1 million to get above 1,000 square feet. So this is why real estate prices are so expensive, and hopefully you guys could understand. And that's why I'm saying that, it's because of inventory, and that's why you see when you get into flipping and real estate and all this, if you learn how to find these deals, you learn how to work around this system and help get into another home if that's what they want to make. That's one of the common objections we get. You can make a lot of money, and that's why there's such a big reward. You see how small inventory is here. If you learn how to get houses, you learn how to find them, you're going to be 1 out of 10 people in some areas with the property. That is value, laws of supply and demand. So hopefully you guys like that. If you guys want to know about how to get those leads and how to find these houses, you know where to go. TTF Real Estate. So holler at me, drop a comment, subscribe, let me know what you guys think, and I love you all.